Okay, this video is called Gold Leaf Made Easy, or maybe Gold Leaf for Dummies. And I'm going to run this whole video through. I'm not going to stop or start or anything unless something drastic happens, but it shouldn't. First off, I'd like to talk about materials. This is the correct sizing that's supposed to be used. It's a quick dry oil-based gilding sizing. That's what you're supposed to use. But because it's oil-based, it doesn't work with dope. So I've made my own sizing. I'm using Randolph Gold paint, and I've borrowed some retarder at the Nationals, and I've mixed quite a bit of retarder in it to slow it down, and you'll see why in a minute. Next, you're going to need some cotton balls, and you're going to need paper towels, 91 proof alcohol. You're going to need a stump. Now I had a velvet stump, but I can't find it, so this should work just fine. This is made out of paper towel. It's just wrapped up and then tape around it. Now there are two different kinds of gold leaf. This first gold leaf is composition gold leaf loose. This is 2 books. So it's 50 sheets, and if you look at it, and it's very, very fine, you can't touch it. It's just plain gold, shiny. Well, that's alright for some things, like a doctor's office lettering on the window, but I want custom paint looking gold leaf, so we've chosen the variegated gold leaf. Variegated gold leaf is heated leaf, where they heat treat it, and it has some color to it, where it's been heated and released. I don't know if you can see that on the video. Very delicate stuff, you can't touch it. What I did with this book was I cut the 6x6 square into 2 approximately 3-inch sections, so we have twice the leaf. There's now 50 sheets here because these letters are only 2 inches wide. So now the next thing is, like I said, this is a gold leaf for dummies. I put register marks where my stencil goes, and we're going to apply the stencil. This whole leafing process, while appears to be very complicated, really isn't. And it's an added touch that nobody else has. So now we put it up on the register marks, the stencil. And rub the stencil down. Now the stencil is a three-part procedure. It's the backing, the vinyl, and then the positioning piece of tape. And that's what we got to get off now, the positioning piece of tape. It's a little tricky to get off sometimes. It doesn't want to separate from the vinyl. So you have to take your time while getting it off. You kind of roll it back on itself. We're going to engine turn this gold leaf too, and that's what the stub is for, the stump. So take a razor blade and get her started. Now, in the old days, a sign painter would take a quill and take that sizing and hand letter this. then yeah, that's cool. And I can do that. But I can't use that sizing under dope. Dope will lift the sizing off. And we want all compatible products. Now I've only done this particular operation with dope sizing one other time, but it seemed to work okay. So remember, when I'm building these airplanes, we only got one shot. Rub the stencil down, make sure it's down real good. Do the bottom first in case something doesn't work quite right. But it should be okay. I'm pretty confident. Okay, the stencil's laid down, and that's what we're going to leave. This will go real fast. Everything in painting is all prep work. It's the actual doing the process. Doesn't take any amount of time at all. Okay, so now we're gonna, I like to double tape, and what that is around the stencil and then mask. For the simple fact, the overspray is less apt to get under the tape if you do it that way. There's more surface area, so I double mask. We're about, I'd say 3 minutes away from actually laying the leaf. We have to paper this up. I'll only do one of these leafing videos. There's no sense in you watching me do all the leaf, because it's basically the same procedure over and over again. When I get them all done, I'll show you how I'm going to outline them. I might, now this is just a might, I might be doing the outlines with my liner, depending on if I can get the dope to retard enough. Let me take this landing gear off. Get the dope to retard enough that I can use the brush, or I'll do it with ink. And inking is probably the way I'll go. It's probably the easiest. gear off. That way I don't have that in the way. I sure hope these videos that I'm doing are actually helping you guys. If not, I'm just wasting my time. Because believe me, it takes me longer to edit these videos than it does to do the job. And so far, I've made $7. If you guys think I'm getting rich on YouTube, you're nuts. Okay. Now we're ready to put the sizing down and lay the leaf. Now what I would suggest is that you get the leaf out handy, because this whole process has to run very quickly. It's we can't wait while things dry, because we don't want it to dry. We're going to spray the sizing. I'm going to lay the leaf right on top of the wet paint. I will then let the paint dry. Then I'll come back with the cotton ball and knock off the leaf edges. After that's done, then we'll remove the, well actually, I'll probably engine turn it first, and then we'll remove the stencil. So, here we go. Let me get the sizing ready. All we can do is hope for the best, because I have not tried this on this in this situation yet. Make sure we got, yep. And I'll explain to you the reason why I chose gold as the sizing. Okay, here we go. Maybe. Here we go. Why is it not coming out? I'm going to have to fire the compressor up, it looks like. So, sorry about the noise, but... Okay, we got that out. And now we'll lay the leaf. It looks like we've ruined the first leaf already. But we'll see. No, it should be alright. Remember, you cannot touch it. Leafing for dummies. Just one. Be pressure from the gun kind of got at the leaf here, but it don't matter. That's two. And the third sheet, and we're done. We'll be massaging it. Maybe I can save it. Nope. Yeah, we just wasted a piece, oh well. Just push straight down on it, because if you try to wipe it back and forth, it'll just break off. We might have to hit that again. Well, it took a minute to get it down, but looks like we got her. Go over everything, make sure that it's all laying down. Oh yeah, had to put it on pretty wet. But it's retarded enough now. It's hot up here. Very humid today. Raining. And if we have any touch-ups, we can do that with a brush. So now we let it dry. Well, we had a couple of problems like you saw, but I think it's pretty well straightened out. I'd like to talk about the next tool you need for this job. Is it's called a blush brush. You get them at Walgreens. It's just a woman's face brush, and what that does is sweep off the extra material. This stuff is just so delicate. I think we're getting pretty close to being able to lift the masking off. If you lift it up too soon, it'll peel it off the airplane, the lettering. So I thought I'd just show you this. We'll probably wait another 10 minutes or so, and This is an art that's lost too. If we don't keep after this and keep passing it on, all these tricks are going to be lost. We'll engine turn it when it's dry. So I'll cut the camera. We'll wait a few minutes. And we'll come back. So, see you in a short. Well, now's the moment of truth. All the work we did. We had a little problem there at the beginning with the sizing. I've thought it out now, and I'll make sure that the gun works on the top, and that's the reason why we do the bottom first. But it should work out okay. I'm starting to lift this up, and it looks real good. So you got to be real careful while taking the stencil up. You don't want to pull up the leaf that's down on the airplane. You want to leave it on the airplane. And if a little corner comes out or whatever, it doesn't matter because we painted it gold. It would have mattered if we painted it black. So this process is going to take quite a bit of time because I want to be extra careful getting this stencil up. But I'll give you a look at one letter and you kind of get the idea of how it worked. Spit on it. It's not quite ready to lift up. So we'll come back when it is. So we'll see in a bit. Well, let's see now if I clean my pens up real good. The last time I used them, I put them in the ultrasound for forever, but I want to see what this is going to look like. It's not perfect. The way this is sized, it worked, but it was very difficult to do. I think for the top side, I have it figured out a little better. But we'll see when I get to the top side. Well, we had a little bit of difficulty with the sizing, but it turned out fair. I'm going to do it a little different on the top side, but that's why we started on the bottom. I think on the top, I'm going to paint it, peel the masking off, then lay the leaf on it, as if I was doing it via sizing with a brush. And then if I have a problem, I can go back and kind of dab the dope on with a sign painter's brush. because I did have a few spots that, you know, it lifted up. I don't know. I might try it again this way so both sides are the same. But what I did was, as I showed you, is I got the ink pen cleared, and I just freehand went around the letters, and it looks pretty good. And so now all it needs is clear, and then we'll sand that clear and seal that, and it's on there forever. Kind of reminds me of a fire engine. I like it. I like it a lot. So it's a kind of an added little thing that, you know, not many guys do. I've seen 2 airplanes with real gold leaf on them. Back in the 60s, they used to sell water slide decals that simulated gold leaf, but anyway, that's how you do it relatively easy. We did have a problem, but on the top side, I think I've eliminated that. And as I told you before, I haven't done this. This is not something that I do every day, so, you know, I don't have the practice at it, but we did get it on there, and it looks respectable, I think. So, I'll get this posted up and hope you enjoy it.